Hey, what's up, everybody? Channel Mac here with Just Win Bets, baby. Joe the Fan. Big UFC news. Paramount Plus is buying the rights to UFC. It's going to be for all 43 annual UFC live events. So that's your UFC fight nights, your UFC lives, your UFC pay-per-views. They're buying the rights for all those at $7.7 billion for a 7-year deal. Big money. $1.1 billion a year. What are your thoughts about Paramount buying UFC rights? $7.7 billion. That's a huge payday for Dana White and TKO.
I'm already on board, as you can see here, Shano. Look at that. We got the UFC hat, courtesy of DraftKings. So all of our bets are going to be from our friends at DraftKings. I got the shirt they sent us. We're all set. So this is, as a person that I know, huge pickup here, my friend. Okay. So the question number one would be, when does this go into effect? I personally have Paramount Plus for my soccer picks. You carry the lower leagues, etc. And I'm not taking anything away from Dana White, and which was an amazing deal. But $7.7 billion, which they were competing with Netflix, as you know, this is huge. We don't have to watch or spend money on our pay-per-view because we cover the main events, and we've done that in starting with 317, 318. We're going to have one later this week for 319, as you know, on Friday night, right after the weigh-ins. And then we hopefully have another special announcement regarding the UFC. So this is huge. So when does it start?
So it's starting January 2026. So this January is when their rights start. And like you said, that's going to eliminate the pay-per-view model. So as long as you have Paramount Plus, you can watch all the UFC pay-per-views, which is an awesome deal. And if I was anybody watching this right now and you don't have Paramount Plus, they have a deal right now, $60 for the whole year for the basic package. I would get that now before Paramount starts raising prices.
Right. Yep. I agree with that.
We're going to try and start to recoup some of that money, I would imagine. I bet you they'll keep it flat for now, but to try and get people in, but then probably mid-year next year, it'll probably jump up a little bit. So I would lock that price in now.
Well, before we go a little bit more further into the UFC, you got to understand that this started with the WWF or WWE at the time with the network. They were charging $9.99, and they're like for all their pay-per-views, because back when we were watching it, you're talking $20, $30, $40 a pay-per-view. To me, UFC was charging $75, $80, $100, what have you. And it's not just UFC. Throughout the history, we're talking about boxing. Mike Tyson was bringing in fights, Lennox Lewis, stuff like that. So even back in the 80s when it had the super fight with Hagler and Leonard. Okay, so it was just all these pay-per-views, and they were just raking in the money. I thought the platform for WWE was great. You pay $9.99. You get the WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, the list goes on and on. Okay. But that was a good model, and no matter what, you could have canceled anytime, which was their deal. But $9.99 saved you a bunch when you're paying a minimum of $40, $50 per pay-per-view. That was a steal. So to come to find out that later on they figured out, well, it'll just keep recurring. No one's hitting that, hey, I want to cancel, and then I'm going to redo this later on. They finally signed, as you know, with Netflix with a huge amount. So I think ESPN, which was currently carrying the UFC, I don't know if they could compete, but they had a major deal, Shano, with Red Zone, okay, that they just recently picked up, and other projects that they picked up with the WWE, right?
So ESPN, to that credit, a week ago, ESPN, I think it was a $1.6 billion deal to sign for WWE's pay-per-views for the next 5 years, I think, something like that. It was the next 4 or 5 years. So because currently they're on Peacock. And what you're saying about the network was that Vince McMahon, he's a great businessman. I know it's not good to talk about him because he's done so much bad things behind the scenes and stuff like that. But business-wise, he's a brilliant dude. He was way ahead of his time with the network, the WWE network, and he brought that stuff forward. He knew pay-per-views were dead. Like, they're dead in the water. People were just streaming them illegally or not paying for them, or they only buy like 1 or 2 a year because they got so expensive. and he saw that and took advantage of it. Made a network, and boom. And then NBC paid a lot of money to get on Peacock. That deal's running out at the end of this year. ESPN picked that up at $1.6 billion to start doing that. So there's a lot of money we're getting thrown around for sports and sports entertainment, for sure. But yeah, ESPN also bought the rights to Red Zone, so you're right. And that they needed some content because remember they let their contract with MLB fall out. Remember?
Yeah.
So they stopped showing their MLB on the ESPN Plus and stuff. So they needed to buy some stuff, and they bought Red Zone, which is a huge deal, and then WB pay-per-views.
I think it'll start to expand in regards to the regular season of stuff like the NHL. I think it'll be more into the soccer, in my opinion. Paramount Plus is already going across the pond and doing an EFL championship. They're doing the lower leagues. You've seen a Serie A, you've seen a La Liga, you've seen, all these great stuff, and it's starting to pick up. And the reason why they're doing that in soccer in my world is because you have the Champions League, you have the Conference League, etc. But they're doing that because the big World Cup, which is coming to the United States next year. So to top all that, going back to UFC, you talk about a great marketer in Vince McMahon. Okay, look at Dana White. Look at the president. President Trump has committed to doing something on July 4th of next year, okay, to bring UFC in the front lawn of the White House. That is huge. Now, whatever the coverage is, etc., I'm not here to talk politics at all, okay? But business-wide, we're looking at the business lens of it. Dana White, holy cow.
Yeah, it's weird to think about when, I remember when the UFC first started out, and they were having trouble getting people to buy the pay-per-views, and then they were fighting courts. That's before they had a lot of the rules and systems in place they did now, which helped them get legal in a bunch of states. Because remember back when they first started, there was no weight classes. Like they had 350-pound guys fighting like 125-pound guys in the ring, and there was like no rules. You could like eye gouge and all this other stuff. And they finally slowly started to introduce these rules and put weight classes in so then they can get these licenses so they can actually fight in different states and stuff like that. And that's when it slowly started building up. But Dana White's been there the whole time. And yeah, he's a great marketer and great promoter as well. The only thing I don't agree with him on is he really loves that slap league.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not buying that yet. I'm not buying into it yet. I seen it and I'm like, I'm not investing in that. I don't know if there's even a market that what we do. I don't even think there's a market yet. Maybe there is, but I'm not buying that.
I'm not into that yet. There's no skill to me for that. It's just literally just two dudes slapping each other. At least UFC, you got some wrestlers, they got some guys to the ground, you got strikers, kickboxers, guys who actually train for stuff, not just slapping people in the face.
I tell you who I like to slap is our producer, Mark. So apparently I went into his office today and he's watching YouTube, okay, of other things. I'm like, what are you doing? Why aren't you watching our stuff? And like, oh, was I supposed to subscribe to that? I'm like, what are you doing? Wow. I mean, the guy is making tons of money from, we talk about pizza money. He's doing pizza franchise from our picks from the NFL preseason week 1. Okay. And the guy's not even a subscriber. He would be number one. Well, maybe not number one, but he'd definitely be someone I slap, especially the program director that we have. Okay. I'm telling you, that guy, he's going to be number one slap for me. So if you want to do a pay-per-view, Dana White, I will pay out of my pocket and I'll slap, the producer, Mark, and our program director.
Hey, if pay-per-view at the White House, not that far from us. You can be like you can the prelims there. You can be on the before card.
Exactly. Just like when you go to a major concert, you see the big act, right?
Yeah.
You need like a opening group. That's me. I'll do it. I won't. Hey, I'll say this: our executive producer, Mike, who's very loyal. Okay. He's a subscriber, so I won't slap him. But come on, we're 6 away. We're literally. Shayna, we're 6 away. I will show you right now. We are 6 away. 6. Look at that. 6 away for 500. And you can't even subscribe, producer Mark? Wow. You send us to what do you call it? The beach at the wrong time. You send to the right beach, okay, but not together. I don't understand. I don't know. I got nothing. I'm done.
Who knows what he's thinking?
I don't know. Yeah.
You would think he'd want to return on his investment and start subscribing more, pushing out more, but whatever. It's up to him. His money.
His money.
And then you said NFL preseason. Hey, our NFL preseason lock, by the way, the Bucks plus 3.5. Bucks smashed the Titans. It wasn't even a close call at all. And we both said sprinkle some money on the Bucks money line. And the Bucks, like, what was the final score to that game? I don't even remember. But last I looked, the Bucks were up by like 17.
But I think the Bucks were getting plus 205 there. So we, as a recap, folks, we had the Ravens money line. And that was at plus 250. That was one of producer Mark's bets. And he parlayed that with another one that we selected, which was a money line on the Philadelphia Eagles, which was giving, I believe, plus 195, maybe, give or take.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And you can't subscribe? I don't understand it.
Yeah, and then the next day was Bucks. We took Bucks plus the points. Bucks were plus 3.5 for some reason. We're like, we're like, Tennessee's terrible. That's a lock. We said put as much as you can on that. Bet the house. That hit, and we also said sprinkle some money on the money line. And the Buccaneers won 29-7. So it wasn't close at all. That was an easy win.
We did KC. We did KC first quarter money line. No, with the spread. So we had to wait for that. I think they caught on to us there, Shano. But what disappointed me was not only Denver. Who knows? Anyway, but
Denver won the game, but we had Denver first quarter as well, and then that didn't hit. But they won the game
because what do we call it? What's his name? Nix was throwing it from the end zone and got a safety. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't even understand that. And Buffalo, the disappointment. You can't beat the freaking Giants at your own house. You were getting destroyed. I don't understand.
Jackson Dart actually didn't look bad.
It didn't look bad.
Jackson Dart didn't look bad. He's a rookie coming out, and I get the Buffalo wasn't playing a whole lot of starters, but he didn't look bad. He surprised me.
I don't want to say anything bad about Buffalo right now because Hard Knocks is about to play, and I'm not going to jinx them or anything because I don't want to lose, any subscribers. I'm just saying when you cost the business, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we took the money line because that was a pick'em game. I remember that. Yep. So that was like but you win some, you lose some. We won more than we lost. So that's good.
I know.
And we won a lot of plus money ones. So that's even better. All right, folks. Well, what do you guys think about UFC and their big deal getting moved to Paramount Plus? The pay-per-view model is dead. Finally, ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, the pay-per-view witch. It's gone.
Yes, sir.
So we can just pay you the $10 a month or whatever it is for Paramount Plus. Oh, what I told you, $60 for 12 months, $60 for a year. I would hop on that now before Paramount raises their rates because I'm sure they will because they paid $7.7 billion for this. So get Paramount Plus, get UFC pay-per-views. That's an awesome deal. I can't wait. No more pay-per-views. But you guys let us know in the comments what do you guys think about the deal. We'd love to hear from you. We always respond back to as much people as we can. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, the thumbs up, and hit the little bell so you guys can see the videos whenever we release new ones. And we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.